60 Minutes Rewind.
For 11 years, Jessica Fletcher, also known as Angela Lansbury, was 60 Minutes Sunday night neighbor. And then last year, she moved out. Well, she didn't exactly move out. She was evicted. CBS, in an effort to attract a younger crowd to the neighborhood, decided she was, let's say, demographically undesirable. So Murder, She Wrote moved from its traditional Sunday night slot to Thursday nights. And
all hell broke loose.
Angela Lansbury was furious.
You knew it wasn't going to work.
Oh, of course. Of course we knew. It amazed us. It surprised us. It shocked us. We could have told them that Sunday night can never be anything other than a family night, because it has been for all these years.
Murder, She Wrote broke a lot of records. It was the highest-rated drama series for 9 consecutive seasons. 43 other shows went against it and were clobbered. And to millions of adoring fans, Angela Lansbury became Jessica Fletcher.
She's a feisty broad, much more so than I am. She's nosy and she's perceptive, far more perceptive than I am.
It sounds like you really determined who she was. It wasn't the people who wrote the scripts. You decided the woman's character.
They gave me the outline, they absolutely did. They filled her in to a certain extent. But I find that male writers, as a whole, don't know how to write women. Therefore, you have to put that in yourself. And I did. I used to fight and squabble and get on their backs about writing her as a real person. She was athletic, she was fun, she wasn't a prude, she was outgoing, she was private, she was everything.
Did you think you were becoming a role model for older women in this country?
I realized it when I pulled myself together, lost quite a lot of weight, started dressing Jessica in a more stylish way, that women were beginning to watch what I was wearing and were excited by the fact, knowing my age, that I had managed to bring this off.
And you were so successful.
We were totally successful. Not only that, but my agreement with CBS was that I would always be on at 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
By contract?
Actually, apparently it was never put into words, and it was never on paper, which I can fault some people for, but I won't. However, they did move us. And I was just shocked and terribly unhappy and very mad, all of those things.
And with good reason. The show fell from a secure top 10 position to finish its last year in 57th place. So after 12 seasons, 264 episodes, and 286 murders, it was over.
The letters, the faxes, the wires, the outcry was so enormous that I had to sort of take a piece in the New York Post and write a letter to the public to say,
I think you know I have always held you, our audience, in the highest regard. And believe me, I shared your disappointment in the way things turned out. Even today, when you ask her, she can barely talk about it.
It's that hurtful to you. I really didn't know.
But she has no trouble talking about the early days. Angela Lansbury was born in England, where her mother, an actress, encouraged her interest in theater. Just weeks before the Nazis bombed London, her mother managed to get her and her 2 brothers to safety in Canada.
She was alone. Your father had died.
Mm-hmm. And we had really had no money at that point, or the bottom had fallen out of our income. So we were really starting off like immigrants, you know.
In 1942, Angela followed her mother to Hollywood and began auditioning. At 17, she got a part in the Ingrid Bergman classic, Gaslight. But while she got an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress her first time out, she would never be offered the leading lady roles she longed for. Instead, she was Elizabeth Taylor's older sister in National Velvet. In Blue Hawaii, she played Elvis Presley's mother. He was 26. She was only 35.
He was a young Southern gentleman in those days, but he still wiggled his hips. Handsome.
She did become one of Hollywood's great character actresses. In The Manchurian Candidate, she was the diabolical mother who orders her son, played by Lawrence Harvey, to assassinate a presidential nominee. That part gave her a third Academy Award nomination. But as she herself says, she always played beastly women, never the leading lady.
I didn't think of myself as being pretty or beautiful, certainly not that. I was absolutely surrounded at MGM with beautiful little girls, all small, cute, perky, delightful. Somebody once said that I had a face like a bread pudding with black widows for eyes.
I have pictures of you then. You were gorgeous. If I saw this picture, I wouldn't say, let's have her be the mean woman in the movie. I'd say, hey, but let's look at her to be the glamour girl who gets the guy and gets to kiss him on screen.
Yeah, never did.
But did it bother you?
Yes, it did. It did. It rankled because I was just still young enough to want to be like everybody else.
But it wasn't in the cards. So she left Hollywood and moved to Broadway and finally got the part she had longed for. As Mame, she became Broadway's biggest star. She seemed to come out of nowhere. A dancer, a singer, a comedian, a Tony Award winner. But then a devastating setback. When Mame was made into a film in 1974, the role she had created went to Lucille Ball.
Big disappointment. Big, dashing hopes disappointment.
I didn't want to work on the film. I was so hurt by it.
Oh,
Jerry Herman wrote the music and lyrics for Mame.
so why didn't she get to do the movie?
Because Hollywood uses what they think is going to be a big box office star. Whether the person's right for the role or not is not important. And so the movie didn't work.
I think it points up something that I've always felt about the movie community in this town. I don't think they've ever, to this day, really known how to use me. I cannot get arrested in the movie business. I really cannot. I cannot get a job in a movie.
Well, wait, you did Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, Beauty and the Beast, but that was just my voice.
The story will continue after this.
If you stand back and you first look at your career in the movies, where you had these great roles, but damn, they would never give you that leading lady part. You go to Broadway, and you are the biggest thing on Broadway, and they won't give you the movie. And then you come into television, and you are the biggest thing on television, and they take it away from you.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 times.
It is curious, isn't it? I always sort of felt I was sort of a well-kept secret from the people who sort of held the strings. The audience who watched knew, they knew, but the people who actually held the strings and provided the money really never knew what they had on their hands.
You once told TV Guide, I used to be champing at the bit because I didn't have control.
Not awful. I sound like a controlling woman. I often wonder when I read about Hillary and Elizabeth Dole and all these women, I say to myself, am I one of these controlling women? And I'm not.
But when she was finally a big success on Murder, She Wrote, she did want to control the show. So first she brought in reinforcements. She hired her brother, her son, her stepson, and husband for top jobs. Then, after 8 seasons, she cast herself as executive producer. After that, TV Guide named her one of the 10 most powerful stars in television. She was also named the #1 best loved.
Actors have reputations for being prima donnas, for being difficult, for stomping off sets, for breaking furniture.
Those aren't the real actors, I've got to tell you right here and now. Now, forget that. Real people who have real talent, who have earned their stars, Do not do those things. I'm sorry. It is only people who have no self-confidence and no real talent who indulge in that kind of ridiculous behavior. I have no time for it whatsoever. It's ridiculous when you consider what these people are being paid. I have no patience for them. Out.
When Murder, She Wrote was canceled, she retreated to the garden behind her home in Los Angeles.
I also love to grow the odd vegetable, so these are tomatoes. Which,
After just a few months, the untemperamental Angela Lansbury made up with CBS. She agreed to make several Murder, She Wrote specials for the network, and one more thing. This Christmas, she will be in a new musical for television, Angela Lansbury as Mrs. Santa Claus.
A lot of people
Yeah.
would say, okay, I'm 70. I've done it. Great career, fabulous career. It's time to take a little rest. Not you. Not even close.
It's curious, isn't it? I mean, I really feel I have as much energy, certainly in the morning, as I ever have had. Late afternoon, I start to fade a little bit. One of Jerry's lyrics is wonderful. What is it? My bones are often racked up. They often act up each time it rains. But my arthritis and my phlebitis are simply growing pains. And that's the way I feel.